ship.
With what?
With ships.
With what?
With ships.
How did we get to America? On ships, right? So did everybody on the earth go into slavery on ships? Who went into slavery on ships, brother? That's right.
Crazy.
For yourself know perfectly that the day of the Lord is coming as a thief in the night. What? As a thief in the night.
Thief in the night.
Right.
The Lord is gonna come as a thief in the night, man. Nobody knows when the Lord is gonna come back.
Right.
Nobody knows.
This the book of wisdom of Solomon, chapter 7 and verse 24. For wisdom is more moving than any motion.
What?
For wisdom is more moving than any motion.
Right, the wisdom of the Lord, man, right, and the wisdom of life is more moving than any emotion, man, right? And that's what the Lord has given us to speak to our people, man, right? And that thing is gonna move you more than anything, man, right? It's gonna move you more than damn weed, right? It's gonna move you more than that damn Hennessy bottle, right? It's gonna sit there and move you more than damn Keisha, Letitia, right? And all these damn heathenistic women, man. Right.
Oh, you're going crazy.
Alright, all praise to the Most High. Alright?
Walk of shame.
I mean, I'm not worthy to receive that title, but all praise to the Most High. Alright? So, hey, real quick, what's your nationality?
Sorry.
You said black? African American? Now, what if I told you that term African American just came about in 1988? So the 80s. Late 80s. That's when that term came about. So how is it that your father or your daughter more than, I mean not your daughter, your mother more than likely, right, is older than that nationality? How does that make sense? It don't, right? It's not clicking, right? That's because that's a lie that's been covered up over our true identity and nationality. You understand? Can I get you your actual nationality in the Holy Bible, brother? Your history, your heritage is written in this book. Did you know that? No? Right? Go to Isaiah 43 and verse 27. And go to Deuteronomy 28:68. Right? I'm gonna get you 3 scriptures or less. Right? And then you go, about your way. Right? Let me get to Isaiah first.
Isaiah, the mighty prophet, chapter 43 and verse 27. The first father has sinned.
What?
The first father has sinned.
Right?
And the teachers have transgressed against thee.
Right? Our first father had sinned, right? Which is talking about Adam, right? Because how did he sin? How did he go against the Most High God? What was the instruction that the Most High gave Adam? Right, not to eat of the forbidden fruit, right? It wasn't necessarily an apple. That's something that was created later on.
Right.
But it's the forbidden fruit. He was told not to eat that. And guess what? He indulged in it. You understand? That was that first sin. As a collective, it continued to what? Be established from generation to generation. Because what did Cain do? Right? He killed his brother. Right? Abel. Right? Sin just continued to multiply from that point on. You understand? And we haven't came back to the Lord in totality, right? And stayed with the Lord since then. Right. You understand? Right? So read that one more time from the top.
Isaiah 43 and 27.
You know.
The first father have sinned.
Right, go ahead.
And thy teachers have transgressed against me.
Right? Even our teachers, who are supposed to be our leaders and our educators within our body, our nation, right? Because guess what? Don't they always say in tales or whatever the case may be, in different cultures, right? Word of mouth goes a very far way.
Right.
In African cultures, right? European cultures such as the Italian man, right? Or what's another one, right? Spaniard men, right? They go by what? Word of mouth. Right? They have their great-grandfather who might sit them down and say, hey, look, I'm going to tell you a couple of things, right? On their, it might be on their deathbed or whatever the case may be, but they're still being taught. Guess what? We don't have that for our people. What do we have? Right? When our people are on their deathbed, they sitting there talking about the debt that they're going to pass on to our name, man.
Bring it out.
Right? Make sure you take care of X, Y, and Z. Right? And pay that storage off. Don't lose that. Right? And we got bills. We inheriting bills, man. We not inheriting our actual nationality and our heritage that we're supposed to get.
Right.
Right? But we inherit lies and corruption, man. Right? Go ahead, read on.
Verse 28. Therefore I have profaned the princes of the sanctuary.
Now, when it says I have profaned the princes of the sanctuary, is profanity a good word or a bad word? It's a bad word. Profanity is you curse.
Jesus is the God who wouldn't have made words. If it was bad, he wouldn't have made words.
Okay, and right, but there's things for good purposes and bad purposes at the end of the day.
Yeah.
Now, if you use a profanity, you more than likely it's for a bad purpose. You're not going to sit there and say F you in a good way.
Right.
You're not going to sit there and call somebody a jack donkey, right? For no reason. Now, there's a bad purpose behind it. There's a bad intent. You understand? So when it says, I have profaned the princes of your sanctuary, I mean, it's a bad thing that's happened. Right? Our princes, right, and our kings have discontinued.
Right.
Because when's the last time that you could list or name, right, a prince or a king of our people, brother? They could do it, right? And when I say they could do it, I'm just saying, would y'all be so-called white? Because I don't want to just assume.
Go ahead.
Right? Y'all would be what? Okay. So your forefathers, right? We could go and read about your kings. Your kings, there's kings right now. King Charles, man. Right? And his descendants. Right? They're ruling over there in England. So what about ours, brother? When was the last time we had a king of our own people? A true leader who set things in order. You can't read about
nowadays, so it's about like
just in general, brother. Just in general. You can't remember. Right? That's because the Lord profaned those things, man. From ever coming into existence until we return to Him. Right? You can only read about the kings of our forefathers, right? Or of our foremothers or our forefathers, right? Our people in general, right? In the Holy Bible. Right? So whereas though you have a book called 1st and 2nd Kings, right? And then you also got 1st and 2nd Chronicles where you can read about their descendants. Right? Read on one more time.
Therefore, I have profaned the princes of the sanctuary.
That's one bad thing that's happened to us, man. There's a little bit more.
And have given Jacob to the curse.
It said what?
And have given Jacob to the curse.
Right? And we've been given over to a curse, a bad thing.
Right.
If a curse is placed upon you, are you going to get good things from that? Or are you going to get bad things from that? You're going to get bad things from that. But which places a curse on you, you're going to wonder what the hell's going on in your life. You know what I'm saying? So the Lord said that He has placed a curse upon Jacob. Now, I'm going to ask you, who do you think on a on the scale of nationality, right, or union of people, or just ethnic group, who's living cursed upon the face of the earth today? African Americans, okay? Right? Who else? Don't the Hispanics go through the same things we go through? Right? They call them brown or whatever the case may be. They call them wetbacks, right? Spicks, right? They get the same amount of racial slurs spewed at them as we get spewed at us a lot of the times. The Native Americans as well. Weren't they here first? And they got what? Killed, murdered, raped, pillaged, robbed of a landmass that belonged to their people. Right? And guess what? We just walk over their blood like nothing happened.
Right.
You understand?
Celebrate it.
So these people, these three groups of people, right, as a nation, are living cursed throughout the earth. Which helps us get an understanding that, hold on, the Lord said that Jacob would be cursed. Finish that out.
And giving Jacob to the curse and Israel to reproaches.
You see that? Israel and Jacob is the same people at the end of the day, right? Jacob's name was changed to Israel in Genesis 32 as a blessing. Right? So now we get to understand that, hold on, we got similarities here. We're living cursed, right? We also sat there and said that we wouldn't have kings or rulers of our people, right? There's a lot of similarities just in this one simple text. Now, let me get you the nail in the coffin to help you understand that this is your heritage, brother, right? That you're not an African American or a black man, but an Israelite rather. Because your forefathers are actually written about in this book.
Right.
Bring this up.
The book of Deuteronomy chapter 28 verse number 68.
Bring it out.
And the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt.
Right now, this is talking about Moses and Israel, right? After they came out of Egypt. Right? Because they're walking in the wilderness. They already crossed through the Red Sea. You understand? Now he's talking to them and letting them know what the Lord told him to tell them. Right? Bring it out one more time from the top.
And the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt.
Right? So as he's delivering this message to Israel, what do you think Israel is thinking? When Moses is telling them, and the Lord, read it one more time about that.
And the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt.
What do you think they're thinking when they hear that? If they just came out of Egypt? Peace. You said peace? What was they doing in Egypt? First and foremost.
Good question.
What did Moses have to do? Yeah, you can say that, right? Through the hand of the Most High, yeah, Egypt kind of got destroyed, right, in the spirit. But it was a reason why they had to be destroyed. What did Moses say? Let my people go.
Right.
He was saying, let my people go. Why? Because they was in bondage and servitude against their will. They were literally getting their backs beat in. Right? The same things that happened just a couple hundred years ago to us in the 1800s, from the 1600s all the way to the 1800s and even a little bit after, was the same things that was going on in Egypt.
Right.
We built up the pyramids.
Judah chapter 5 and verse 11.
Bring it over.
Therefore the king of Egypt rose against them and dealt subtly with them.
Right?
And brought them low.
It said what?
And brought them low.
You bringing somebody low, that's not a good thing. You bringing somebody low, you making them feel bad, worthless, low into the ground. They're humble. You understand? But not in a good way. Go ahead.
With laboring and bricks and made them slaves.
See that, man? With laboring and bricks. So guess what? From sun up to sundown, and guess what? They was workers, man. Pushing a brick. Right? Literally. I ain't talking about what they talk about in rap songs nowadays. Right? I'm talking about literally. It was pushing bricks, man, and blocks of stone. Right? These are the things that our forefathers had to do, man. Right? So read that in Deuteronomy. Right? This is the last verse, bro. I'm gonna let you go about your day.
The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28, and verse number 68. And the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt again.
You see that? So I asked you a question. I just gave you a little synopsis, right? Or a summary of what they was going through in Egypt. I'm gonna ask you the same question again. What do you think the Israelites were thinking when they heard this from Moses? That they should go into Egypt again. What do you think they're thinking? If I just describe all the things that they was doing in Egypt. Because what was they doing in Egypt?
Holding the people, like it's a hostage.
Yeah, it was enslaved. It was held against their will.
Right.
So now, if you just got out of a situation where you were being held against your will, you ever seen Taken?
No.
Okay.
Y'all did.
Okay, yeah. So what happens, man? You kidnapped, right? Wondering what the heck's going on. You got tape over your mouth, tied up, right? Wondering what's going on, man. If you get out of that situation and somebody tells you that you're gonna go into that situation again, what are you thinking? Oh, hell no, not again. What do you mean? What I gotta do to stop it? Right? That's the same thing for Israel. They're thinking, damn, slavery again? We just got out. Go ahead, read on.
Again with ships.
With what?
With ships.
It said, but this time it's gonna happen on ships. Now, who did that happen to in modern day history? That they talk about it in school, but not so much anymore, right? But who did that happen to as a nationality? Of people. Y'all can help them out too. It's all good. I'll jump in there. Alright? What did that happen to as a nationality of people? Being enslaved by way of ships. You said, huh? Native Americans, yeah, it happened to them for sure, right? Because they were taken from a landmass that once belonged to them when they were over here in this region and brought over to parts of Spain, right, and Europe, and even Africa, North Africa. You understand? And then, you know, shipped off to wherever else to be a slave. But it also happened to the blacks and Hispanics.
That's right. I was thinking that, bro. Like,
yeah, no.
Different meaning. Can you go deep, like before saying deeper into it?
Oh, okay, yeah, no, but it's basically, I'm just drawing the similarities because what we read in Isaiah 43 and 27 is that what? We wouldn't have rulers of our own people anymore. Right. And I asked you, when was the last time we had a king of our own people? You said, I don't know, right? So that was one thing. The second thing was what? That Jacob was given to a curse, right? And I asked you, how do you feel like we're living? Blessed or cursed? You said we live in curse, right? We're going through a lot of bad things. Right? We live through systematic oppression, a system that was designed and built against us purposely.
Right.
You understand? The FBI was first initiated, right, or founded, formulated, you understand, in order to persecute the so-called black man. You can't tell me that a lot of these different things, and the CIA and their ops, you understand, all the things that they do, right, is usually designed to what? Go against us. They come into the hoods and the ghettos and experiment on us. What happened with the Tuskegee? Right? Airmen. Right? They experimented on them. Right? What happened in St. Louis projects? They experimented on them. Dropped stuff in the damn air, the chemtrails as you would call it, right? And watch them bug out.
Right.
And gun each other down. Why do you think it's the murder capital of the world right now? Right? So these different things we gotta ask ourselves, man. Right? Finish this verse out though.
The question.
Read it from the top.
And the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt again with ships.
Right, so Moses is telling the Israelites that they're going to go into slavery by way of ships.
Right.
We already just cleared the table and said that that happened to our people, the blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. So with this verse and the last verse that we just read, what's your nationality, brother? Who must you be? If you draw similarities with the people that we're reading about,
Israel.
that's right.
Right.
That's your actual heritage or nationality. So you can't walk around calling yourself black or African American anymore. Like I said, that term just came about in the 1980s. The 80s was not that long ago, right? Your father or your mother wouldn't even be considered African American if they was born before 1988. So why would we sit there and continue to call ourselves a lie when we have our true heritage? You just learned you're an Israelite. Why are you going to continue to call yourself a lie? It don't make sense, right? So you shouldn't do it, brother. You'll be an Israelite, king. Right? You're not black, because black is the color of your pants, as well as part of your shirt.
And your hair.
Right? You're much greater than that, brother.
Right.
You're not the scum of the earth. The scum of the earth is black. It's dark. Right? It's nothing. It's worthless. Those are just a couple of synonyms that go with black. You understand? Alright, so king, at the end of the day, you're an Israelite. With that knowledge and understanding, you have to come back to the Most High God and keep His commandments.
Right.
That's the true key to the kingdom of heaven. Alright, brother? If you can, I'm gonna get that Matthew 19 and 16. This is the last one, I promise.
Bring it out.
Right, and y'all can go ahead. Last one. I said 3 at first, and now I only brought out 2. Right? This is the third one. Alright? Not going back on my word. Go ahead.
It's the book of Matthew, chapter 19, and verse number 16.
Bring it out.
And behold, one man came and said unto him, Good master, what good thing shall I do that I may have eternal life?
Right? This is a scribe coming to Christ. Right? What we're about to read is in red letter, because this is out of Christ's lips. Go ahead.
And he said unto him, Why callest thou me good? There's none good but one.
Right? Which is the Most High God. Go ahead.
That is Yahweh. But if thou wilt enter into life, keep the commandments.
Said what?
Keep the commandments.
Right? If we want to enter into life, because what is life essentially? What does that word coincide with? Right? Or coincide with? Life. You said what? Yeah, you can say that. Right? But life means what? When life is brought forth in the earth, it means something is being born, right? It's a good thing, right? So if we want to sit there and inherit life, eternal or forever, right, we got to keep the commandments.
Right.
If we want to be born again to where as though what? We won't die anymore. We'll be incorruptible, right? Because that's essentially what the kingdom of heaven is going to be essentially, man. It's rest, eternal rest. But we don't have to worry about the different things that we worry about right now. Keeping the commandments is the key to get that. But in order to know that you got to keep the commandments, right, and what commandments to keep and everything of that nature, you have to know your heritage. You have to know that, hold up, these people in the book, in the Bible, it's my people. You have to know these different things in order to actually apply the precepts, the scriptures, and the commandments, how they're supposed to be applied. Because if you're just walking around in Christianity, guess what? You're not going to get the understanding you're supposed to get. Right? Because guess what? They don't teach you a lot of the commandments that you're supposed to keep. They don't teach you that you can't eat pork. Right? Did you know that, brother? You can't eat pork. You can't eat fish out of the water that don't have fins and scales. So shrimp, crab, lobster, catfish, a lot of these things that are pushed right in the world as delicacies are actually poisonous to our bodies.
That's right.
Right? Smoking weed and smoking cigarettes, right? The tobacco industry where you see a million commercials on TV about, right? Is actually bad for you, brother. And it's against the commandments. Because what are you doing? Breaking down your body. A body that you didn't give yourself, but the Lord gave you. Because when we were born into this earth, we didn't actually be born. It just happened, right? And we grew up, right? And we started to grow, we understand. Now you are who you are. But how did you start out? Essentially, the Most High God did that for you. All right? So what's your nationality before you head out? That's right. Did you get a flyer? All right, all praise to the Most High. What's your name? You said, huh? Nasir? All right, brother, we're going to pray for you. Right? We're going to sit there and continue to hope that you get built up. Are you from here?
I'm from Atlanta.
You said where?
Atlanta.
Atlanta? We got brothers that be out there on Atlanta over Beach. Right, you close to downtown?
I'll be down. I don't stay down there.
Oh, you stay here now? Oh, okay. That's what I was asking when I asked you to stay here. Cool. We out here every Friday and Saturday. So on the flyer, you got the information. Come back out, man. We want to see you again.
I appreciate the word.
All right. Nice. Right, so all praise to the Most High. The word is going out nonetheless. Right? And, right? Unfortunately, I do. Right? But, hey, go to 1 Corinthians chapter 15.
Bring it out, bring it out.
Right?
Book of 1 Corinthians chapter 15.
Bring it out.
What's going on, family? Right, y'all see yourself in the sign? Stop real quick, stop real quick. Look,
Talk to the brother.
look. Right, y'all see yourself in the sign on the right hand side? Right, as y'all nationality or ethnicity? Where y'all at? Where y'all at in the song?
Yeah, all day.
Where we're at? You see, it says West Indian, Haitian, Negro, Dominican, Guatemalan or Panamanian, Puerto Rican, Cuban, Mexican. What's your nationality? Honduran? Okay, cool. Right, so Honduran, I believe that's what, Asher, if I'm not mistaken? Right? Or Zebulon? That's Zebulon, right? So, y'all be Israelites, right? From the tribe of Zebulon. Right. Now, do you know what that means? Do you know what this sign is actually telling you? No? Right? Being an Israelite from the tribe of Zebulon is telling you that you're God's chosen people.
Right, right.
Go to Deuteronomy chapter 7 and verse 6 real quick.
Deuteronomy.
Can I bring out 2 scriptures for y'all real quick before y'all head out? Alright, cool. Alright, bring this up.
Deuteronomy. Precept, Salakia. Chapter 7 verse 6.
Yeah.
For thou art in holy people.
What?
For thou art in holy people.
In layman's terms, is basically saying that what? You are a holy people, man.
Right.
Right, go ahead.
Unto the Lord thy God. The Lord thy God has chosen thee to be a special people unto himself above all people.
You see, so the Most High God is saying in layman's terms, what we're reading is that what? You guys are chosen, you're special, and you're above all people. That's what the Most High God is telling you, right? As being what? From the tribe of Zebulon. You understand? Right? And now we're gonna go ahead and give you an understanding of how you guys know you're from the tribe of Zebulon. To God. Okay, go to Deuteronomy chapter 20, verse 68. Now, real quick, you will be descendants, right, or your great ancestors, right? There will be Aztecs, Incas, or Mayans, right? Correct? Which one? Do you know? Not right now, right? Okay. So in the Aztec, Inca, and Mayan culture, there were things that they kept that were out of this Bible. Certain things that they put a little bit of a twist on, you understand? Because they went into a fashion or a way that was taught to them, right? In idolatrous ways. And idolatrous ways just means that putting things before the Most High God, right? Putting things into power that don't deserve to be put into power, right? But the Mayans, the Aztecs, and the Incas, right, spoke a language that was a derivative of Hebrew, you understand? Now, other people that spoke Hebrew were descendants of Hebrews, right, would be the Israelites. They were Hebrew Israelites, you understand? Because they were descended from Hebrew, right? So now what we're going to get you an understanding of is that you're not just Honduran, right? Because that was just a title that was placed upon you. Because who named all those countries, right, in South America and North America? A white man, right? It wasn't our people. We didn't get the title or the privilege to sit there and name the places and where we decided to stay. We didn't get to name Indianapolis. We were just born here, right? This brother he didn't get a chance to name Gary, Indiana. He was just born there, right? It just happened, right? You just got to kind of deal with it, right? But we got to get back to the knowledge and understanding before that, because we're much greater than these titles that they tell us we are. Go ahead and bring this out.
The book of Deuteronomy chapter 28 verse number 68.
Bring it out.
The Lord shall bring thee into Egypt.
Right, this is Moses speaking unto the Israelites. Okay, what you're going to come to know is that these are your forefathers, right? Your ancestors. Read it one more time from the top.
And the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt.
Right, they just came out of Egypt. Do you know what they was doing in Egypt? What is Moses famous for saying? I know y'all are young. Y'all know who Moses is?
Yes.
Right, what is he famous for saying? Let my people go. He said, let my people go. Now, if I'm saying let my people go, why would I? What are the reasons that I could be saying that? Somebody's what? Held against their will, they're in trouble, right? If I say let them go, I'm saying it with some type of authority. I'm saying, hey, look, you better let him go, man. Let him be free. You understand? That's what he was saying for the Israelites. They were in slavery. In slavery, you're being held against your will and being forced to work against your will. You understand? That's basically what they were going through. So now he's saying that this is going to happen again. Moses is telling the Israelites it's going to happen again. Right? If you sit there and hear that, you're going to start to think, well, dang, I don't want that to happen again. I don't want to be held against my will again.
Right.
It's basically saying I'm going to be kidnapped again. Right? And I'm going to be forced to work from sun up to sundown. Right? Go ahead.
Terrorized.
And the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt again.
Right? Slavery again. Go ahead.
With ships.
With what?
With ships.
Right? And what you'll come to learn is that a lot of your ancestors went into slavery by way of ships.
Right.
Because once this landmass was stolen from them, and things like the Manifest Destiny were pushed to where's the what? The Trail of Tears was created, right? Where the Native Americans, the Aztecs, Incas, and the Mayans were pushed westward, right? It started from New York, right? Upstate New York, might have had Maryland, right? Virginia, right? Next thing you know, they're all the way over in Indiana, Michigan, Illinois, right? Missouri, right? And then after that, they end up in damn Oregon, California, right? New Mexico. How did they end up over there? It's because the white man was literally forcing them to flee by killing them and diseasing them and plaguing them, right? And killing off their livestock.
Right.
So they also, the ones that were captured that weren't killed, were sent into slavery into parts of Spain and Europe. You understand? Even North Africa, sorry. Right? So how did you get over from America to North Africa and Europe? You got to cross the Atlantic Ocean, right? How do you do that? With what? Ships. A ship, right? Which basically goes into the fact of what? Your people went into slavery by way of ships as well.
Right.
It wasn't just the Africans or, African Americans. Right? Or the Negroes. Your people endured the same things. Go ahead.
And the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt again with ships, by the way whereof I spake unto thee. Thou shalt see it no more again.
Right? Have y'all been back to Honduras? No. Right? So we don't even get to make it back as far as to the country that they named. Right? So how can we possibly make it back to the country that we truly come from? We ain't been back there. Our true homeland is Israel.
Right.
That's the initial place where we sprung life.
That's right.
As the Israelites. Hence our name. You understand? Right? That's the true place and where we began, man. But we have never seen that place ever in our lives, man. And a lot of our forefathers or foremothers haven't as well. Right? Go ahead.
Thou shalt see it no more again, and there you shall be sold unto your enemies for bondmen and bondwomen. And no man shall buy you.
Right? And if I could tell you, hey, guess what? We're still in slavery today.
Right.
Brother, don't you feel like that? Don't you feel like we're still being oppressed today? The same way, or in a lot of the same ways that our forefathers were oppressed? Because guess what? If we want to leave town, we still got to get a pass, right? If you want to leave the country, you got to get a passport, right? You want to sit there and drive anywhere, you got to have a driver's license, right? Which is a piece of plastic. So you're always walking around with some type of pass. God forbid you leave the house without your wallet and you turn around to go get it. Because if you get caught without your license, you might get locked up. Right? So these different things that our forefathers went through is the same things that we're living through. Right? So what's your nationality before y'all leave? What did God call y'all? You're not just Hondurans, you're what? What did I say earlier? Israelites from the tribe of Zebulon. Right? Because your history is found within the Bible. Alright? Does that make sense? Did y'all get flyers? Did y'all get flyers, piece of paper? Right? So y'all be Israelites from the tribe of Zebulon, alright? All the information is on that flyer. Y'all check it out, alright? Y'all be safe out here. Alright? Stay warm. Right? So King, real quick. We'll wrap it in just 2 minutes. Alright? They was already standing up for like 5 minutes. Now, we're still living through a lot of these different things. Go to Luke chapter 3 verse 8. What's up? Mike is dead. right? Go to Luke 3:8.
The book of Baruch.
Chapter 3 and verse 8.
Get out.
Behold, we are yet this day in our captivity.
What?
Behold, we are yet this day in captivity.
Right? The Lord prophesied that what? He would still be in this captivity to this current day. But
For thou hast scattered us for a reproach and a curse.
right? A reproach and a curse, those are all bad things. Right? We're reproached as a people, which means that we're despised. Right? They look at us like something strange. Right? Just as they did back a couple of hundred years ago, man. They looked at us, a lot of them would call us not human. They would look at us as if we were aliens and use us as we were dogs or pets. You understand? It's the same thing today. Because guess what? We still get little boyed in this world, don't we? And guess what? We sit there and try to get a good job. They say, oh, look at this right here. Yeah, you can't get this job. All right? You're a felon. You're a convicted felon. Right? You can't work this job, man. Oh, you got tattoos, right? You can't work this job. Right? You don't want to shave your beard? You can't work this job. Right? You got to be a little boy. Right? You got to come as a little boy first and foremost to make it into this world, man. But guess what? That's what a lot of these entertainers had to do before they got to the place of where they at. Kevin Hart's, the LeBron James, right? You think they just got that handed to them? Hell no. They had to sit there and work for that.
Right.
You know, on the left-hand side, which is just an unrighteousness, right? Going against, you know, bending rules and going against the Most High God in order to get that place a seat. You don't just get a good seat in society without doing, you know, something strange, man, right? To put it in layman's terms. Right? So go to Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 68. What you'll come to learn is that not only is that the prophecy that's written that we would be in captivity to this day, but that our history of our forefathers and our ancestors is written in this Bible. Right? Go to Deuteronomy 28.
Deuteronomy chapter 28 and verse 68.
Bring it on.
And the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt.
It said what?
And the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt.
Are you familiar with Moses? Right? This is Moses speaking to the Israelites right now. What was Moses' famous words? Do you know, sister? What about you, sister? What is Moses' famous words? What is he famous for saying? Let my people go. Right. Right? That's what he was famous for saying. And why was he saying that? It was because the Israelites, which was his people, right, were in slavery and bondage. So if I'm saying let my people go, it's like, hey man, get up off my people, man. Just like we say today. When the cops put their knee on our neck, man, or our brother's neck, hey, let him go, man. Get off his neck, man. It's the same thing that Moses was saying for our people, for the Israelites.
Right.
Go ahead and read on.
Again, with ships, by the way whereof I spake unto thee, thou shalt see it no more again.
Right, so now Moses is telling the Israelites that they're going to go into Egypt, which is another word for what saying another way of saying slavery and bondage.
Right.
That's what they were just doing. They were in Egypt being slaves. So if I'm thinking of Egypt, or I'm thinking of a place that I just got held captive in, I'm not necessarily thinking about the place. I'm not thinking about if we're talking about our ancestors, wherever the case may be, they might have fled to the north. They're not thinking about South Carolina. They're not thinking about Georgia. They're thinking about slavery when you sit there and tell them that they're going to go back to that place. That's the first connection that they draw. So that's the same thing with the Israelites. That's the first connection that comes to mind when Moses is saying that, hey, guess what? You're going to go into Egypt again. First thing that they hear in their mind is slavery again. Hold on, wait a minute. What you mean? Hold on, back up off me. Why are you trying to grab me? Right? Read it again.
And the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt again.
Right, slavery again, go ahead.
With ships.
It said what?
With ships.
Now, what nationality or ethnic group has gone into slavery by way of ships in modern history? So, African American on the board, right? Two more on the board. See if anybody can get it, right? You know, sister, what ethnic groups went through slavery? You said the Asians? By way of ships, I should say. Right, what ethnic group went into slavery by way of ships? I should have been more specific, I'm sorry. Do you know, sister? Anybody else? Outside from the African Americans? See, that goes to show that history class has been failing us. Because it's not just African Americans that went through these things. The Native Americans went through these things as well. No. Right? Because not only were they killed off, right, and diseased and plagued, you understand? They were also sent into slavery into Spain, right, in Europe and North Africa. Same thing for the Hispanics as well. right? The Mayans, the Aztecs, and the Incas. They were snatched out from over this landmass, right, in South America, even if they made it that far, right, and brought over to Spain. The conquistadors, as you would call them, right? So therefore, we understand that when the Lord's speaking of these things, He's speaking to us, right? So read on, finish that verse.
With ships, by the way whereof I spake unto thee, thou shalt see it no more again.
Go ahead.
And there ye shall be sold unto your enemies.
And we were sold unto our enemies, not our own people. Because guess what? That's the dogma, right? Or the belief that they want us to have. That we sold our own people into slavery. That's something that they try to push. The notation of, oh, you did this to yourself, right? And so this way they can shift the blame and put their hands up and say, hey, look, I'm not guilty, right? And that helps them get out of what? Paying reparations. That helps them get out of what? Judgment, true judgment, and justice. That helps them kind of weasel out of that, man. Say you did this to yourselves, man. We didn't do this to y'all, right? But the proof is all over the place, man. The proof is even in their damn monuments and statues, man. You go down to that monument, you're gonna see one of our damn ancestors, man, right, in chains and shackles, right, with a white man standing behind her on a horse. They put it all throughout the earth. That's not the only statue that's like that, or monument that's like that. Guess what? They got them all throughout DC. They got them all throughout Maryland, right? They got them all throughout New York, Chicago, right? But yet, we don't even question these things. We just walk right past them. We don't even think to ourselves, well, damn, that's kind of messed up. Why would they put that image in a public place, right? And my ancestor in a low estate, being beat against her will, right? Being raped. They sit there and put these things in the movies, man, right? They sit there and try to say, yeah, it's for informational purposes and different stuff like that. But really, it's to keep it fresh in our mind. Constantly rip off that band-aid, open that wound back up, man. Because when you watch these movies, don't you get emotional? Watching them slave movies, you kind of get a little emotional, man. Yeah, man. Right? You feel it in your chest, man. Sitting there looking at your, you know, could have been forefathers, man, get beat in, right? And they not stopping. They just keep on going, right? Now he's in a, you know, cabin, resting on his damn chest or his stomach, right? And he can't even sit there and defend his house. Now his woman's getting taken into the master's house. She's screaming all through the night. God knows what's going on in that room. He can't even do nothing, man, because he just got beat in from sun up to sundown. These things will anger you, man, make you mad, right? But that's because, you know, hey, when we read throughout this book, people that were enslaved, right? The Israelites, essentially, those are our people.
Right.
We draw a likeness with the spirit, you know what I'm saying, that the Lord has pushed onto the Israelites. Right. It's because we're the same people.
That's right.
That's the reason why we walk around with a chip on our shoulder, man. Go to Deuteronomy 7:6. We walk around with a chip on our shoulder because what? We do got something to prove. We do have a place that's waiting for us that's greater than here. Right, go ahead.
The book of Deuteronomy chapter 7, verse number 6.
Bring it out.
For thou art an holy people.
It said what?
For thou art a holy people.
Go ahead.
Unto the Lord thy God.
Right.
The Lord thy God has chosen thee.
Right, go ahead.
To be a special people.
It said what?
To be a special people.
This is him talking to the Israelites. Right? He said, thou art a holy people. Right? I have chosen thee to be a special people. Go ahead.
Unto himself.
Unto whom?
Unto himself.
Not to everybody else, but just to me. I've chosen y'all to be a special people unto me. That's it. Go ahead.
Above all people.
It said what?
Above all people.
It said I loved you most. Above all people. Right? Because you got a favorite pair of shoes, don't you? You got a favorite restaurant you like to eat at. And you like to sit there and keep those things to yourself. You're not going to share them favorite pair of shoes, man. You're not going to let them go so easily, man. You're not going to give up the sauce of that favorite restaurant so easily, man. You might kind of gatekeep it, man. Post it on Instagram, niggas like, damn, the food look good. Where you at, bro? Hey. You know, it's kind of my spot, man. So, right? So these things, man, it's the Lord. That's how he feels about us. It's kind of my people, man. You can't touch them, right? Only I can deal with it, right? Hey, so guess what? The Lord's telling us what the blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, that we're God's chosen people.
Right.
That we're greater than any people upon the face of the earth.
That's right.
That's the reason why we hoop the way that we do.
Ah.
The reason why, guess what? Our Northern Kingdom, which are the Hispanics and the Native Americans, right? They play football the way that they do. Or soccer, as you would call it in American terms. Right? American football, they tote that rock the way that they do. Right? Can't nobody do it like us.
That's right.
Anybody do their hair like us, they can't even grow our hair like us, man. They try hard, man. Right? And then guess what? When they fail, they do that. Look at this. Throw it in the trash, man. Right? They try to do everything in emulation of us, but they can never perfect it. Because the Lord has set us apart to be a special people unto himself.
That is right.
No other people can mimic that. Alright, King, so what's your nationality? We just read that what? Your God shows people, right? Who's God? That's right.
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 That's the descendants of who you fall from, bro.
Right, right.
When I ask you what's your nationality, that's basically what that means. The seed line that you come from.
I know, I know it when African American.
Yeah, damn sure ain't African American. African American just came about in the 80s. So that don't make sense. They
Right.
ain't black. Guess what, brother? You're not the scum of the earth. Right? That's just one term to make synonymous with what black. Black, when you look it up, even in the Oxford Language Dictionary, it says dark, dingy, evil, nothing, void of light. Those are all negative terms.
Right.
We're much greater than that, aren't we?
That's right.
Sister, we're not brown, right? We're not dingy, right? These different things, these terms that they place on us, we're much greater than.
Right.
Right? So y'all will be Israelites, all right? That's the message that we give it to our people in these last days. Our true heritage in the knowledge of these commandments and these scriptures that we have to keep. All right, King? So by being an Israelite, you got to keep the commandments. You got to come back to the Most High God wholeheartedly. Christianity church is not going to teach you that.
That's right.
Because guess what? Christianity church is making a profit. Of what? Feeding us, you know what I'm saying, the lies.
Right.
Right? The dope, essentially. Keeping us strong. Right? Just want to keep going back. Hey, I ain't been to church in a minute. You ain't been to church in 2 years. You just kind of catch an interest. Right? I ain't been to church in a minute. Right? Everybody in the community asking you where you been. Right? Where you been at? I miss you. Where your grandma at? Right? Come on back to the church. Right? You kind of get that itch to go back, then you go back. Right? And you get lied to some more. You get lied to some more. Pumped with more GMO, just like they do with this damn food.
Right.
They pump us up some more, man, with some more BS. Because guess what? They told us that Christ was a white man. Guess what? That was a lie.
Right.
Right? Christ is a so-called, hey, you would be an Israelite from the tribe of Judah.
Right.
It means that what? If he was walking upon the face of the earth, he would look just like us.
That was so
Right.
fun.
That was a lie. Right? They tell us that we can eat pork. Right? Eat freely what the Most High God gives. Scripture say contrary.
That's right.
Meaning that the Lord says contrary. We can't eat pork.
Right.
We can't eat
right.
shrimp, crab, and lobster.
Right.
That's right.
We can't eat fish that don't have fins and scales.
That's right.
That's right. Guess what? This is certain swag that we gotta walk with. You know what I'm saying? You know what these are? Hey, that's that drip. That's that swag you gotta get put on, man.
Right,
Number
right.
15 to 38 real quick.
The book of Numbers, chapter 15, and verse number 38.
Read on.
Speak unto the children of Israel,
Right? Aren't you a child of Israel? Right, go ahead.
and bid them that they make them fringes.
That word bid in the Hebrew just means to command, right? You're commanding someone to do something, you're telling them to do it, ain't no questions asked, right? Just do it. Go ahead.
In the borders of their garments.
Right, that they make the fringes in the borders of their garments. That's why it's at the bottom of our shirt, you understand? Or at the edge, right? In. Right, go ahead.
Throughout their generations.
Right, we're still generating as people, right? We still populate the earth, so we still got to keep this commandment. Go ahead.
And that they put upon the fringe of the borders a ribbon of blue.
See that? Got the ribbon of blue right above it. Go ahead.
And it shall be unto you for a fringe, that ye may look upon it and remember all the commandments of the Lord.
You see that? You look upon these fringes, not necessarily on a physical aspect, but more so on a spiritual reminder aspect. Right? You look at these, your spirit kind of get refreshed, right? Because we have something far past just our mental and our physical estate. Right? We have a conscience,
Right,
which shows
right.
that we have a spirit. You understand? So when you look at these, you say, "Damn, hold on, I wasn't supposed to do that," right? Or you might catch yourself in the act, or you might catch yourself before the act. You might have been thinking to sin. You might have been thinking to eat that pork. You might have been thinking to buy on the Sabbath day, right? Which is actually today. The sun just went down. Because that's how the Lord would clock the days. He don't got a whole bunch of grandfather clocks in the third heaven, right? Where it's just going off at 12 a.m. like the damn church bell goes off. That's not how that works.
Right.
Right? No, he goes by the judging of the greater light and the lesser light that he created for times and seasons. It literally tells you that in the scripture. So how do we think that at midnight midnight, all of a sudden it's a new day.
Right.
That's something that was put into effect through the Romans.
Exactly.
Right, and going into their worship, which is basically idolatry. They worship a whole bunch of false gods.
Right.
They worship many gods.
Right.
There's only one living God.
Right.
Tell me how that makes sense. So we can't follow in the ways of this world. We gotta follow after the ways that the Most High God told us to follow after. How do you do that? You gotta what? Read this book. You gotta get into this thing.
Right.
It's the Holy Bible, King James Version. Right? Chiefly read out of 1611. Right? That's what you want to start reading, brother. Because you'll get to understand that, hey, all these commandments that you got to keep in order for you to actually get eternal life. Right? Because the Christians, right, in the church house, they like to sit there and tell you, oh yeah, it's just going to be given to you. Right? Kingdom of heaven is just going to drop down on the face of the earth, right? We just going to be there. Right? It's going to happen. That's a lie. That's bogus, man. Right? You can't tell me anything that's good is worth working for, man. Right? They sit there and tell you that, man. If you can sit there and just get something handed to you, it don't hit the same. You don't even care for it for real. It's like you sit there and get a gift, but you don't know what that person did to get that gift, so you don't really care about it for real. But you work hard for something, you break your back, you put your blood, sweat, and tears into something, man, in that craft, man, you build it from the ground up, you care about it, man, you treasure it, man. Or even if you just buy something at high expense, man, you worked hard to get that money, man. So that's the same thing for the kingdom. You gotta work for it, brother. You can't just get it handed to you. So go to Matthew 19:60 real quick. Is that on it? So the fringes, that's the commandment that we gotta keep. This is a part of your apparel, right? Or your swag, you know what I'm saying? You gotta kind of incorporate this. Put it on the border of your shirt. It'll help you remember the commandments. You understand? This is the last one I'm gonna get you.
Matthew, the Gospels, chapter 7, chapter 19 and verse 16.
Bring it out.
And behold, one and said unto him,
It said what? Read it as written. Read it right.
and behold, one came and said unto him,
Right, go ahead.
Good master, what good thing shall I do?
Right, there's a scribe coming to Christ, right? What we're about to hear is out of Christ's lips, right? It's a red letter, go ahead.
That I may have, that I may have eternal life.
Right, go ahead.
And he said unto him, Why callest thou me good? There is none good, but one.
Right, go ahead.
That is God.
It said what?
That is God.
There's only one good, right? We're not worthy of the title to call ourselves good, man. So guess what? We walk around and we just sit there and say, oh yeah, I'm good, I'm alright, I'm straight. You're not really straight, bro. Right? A lot of our people aren't really straight. A lot of our people aren't really good. Because are they actually living in the ways of being a good individual? More than likely not. Because guess what? You just learned that you're Israel. You just learned about the commandments some of the commandments that you got to keep.
Right.
That you didn't even know about.
Right.
So was you truly good before you walked up here? Hell no. Right? So go ahead. And we can't even keep all of the commandments on a continuous day-to-day basis. We try to the greatest of our ability, but there's just some things that we just can't keep. We can't go to Jerusalem 3 times a year.
Right.
I'm sorry, my pockets is strapped. I can't make it. Right? Guess what? There's certain things. We don't have an altar in the land, so we can't give up the sacrifices like the Levitical priesthood was doing back in the day. Right? There's certain things that we just can't practice. You know what I'm saying? It's above our strength. Go ahead.
But if thou wilt enter into life, keep the commandments.
What?
Keep the commandments.
You want to get the kingdom of heaven, which is eternal life, essential with or equivalent with eternal rest, right? You got to keep the commandments.
Got to keep the commandments.
That's what's going to get you there, bro.
Con.
So in order for you to keep the commandments to the best of your abilities in a way that they're meant to be kept, you have to first understand that you're an Israelite though. You understand? Because, you know, a lot of people, they may keep the commandments, but they don't understand their heritage or the things that actually pertain to them. They read certain things and they say, oh yeah, that's not really for me, whatever the case may be. And, you know, they have, a lot of the times when people sit there and walk and keep some of the commandments, whatever the case may be, they're not keeping all of them. Right? A lot of the times, a lot of people walk around and just fully believe in the New Testament. Because their mind is made up through Christianity, church, or just the ways of this world and what society teaches that, oh, we're in the new covenant. The law's in my mind, the law's in my heart. Yeah, I think about it all the time, you know, right? And they just walk on in darkness, man, right? And think that's it. No, you got to keep the commandment all throughout the books, right? Go to Baruch chapter 4, verse 1. I promise this last one. I want to get a precept for that last one.
It's the book of Baruch chapter 4 and verse number 1.
Bring it out.
This is the book of the commandments of Yahweh, and the law that endureth forever.
It said what?
And the law that endureth forever.
So there's not one law that has just stopped being in effect. You understand? Every law and statute and commandment that the Lord has written still has a way or effect or a weight. You understand? That's continuing on to this present day. But it says it shall endure forever. Now you have intercession that is made for certain commandments. Us not being able to give a sacrifice upon the altar, that's intercession that's been made by who? Christ. Because he gave himself up as the ultimate sacrifice. So he's fulfilled that for us. And that's what it's talking about in Matthew 5 and 17 when he says, what? I came not to destroy, but to fulfill. He's fulfilling something by what? Making an intercession for something. Right? Helping us with something that we can't keep ourselves. Right, go ahead.
All they that keep it shall come to life, but such as leave it shall die.
See that, man? So if you're not keeping the commandments and not doing what the Lord is telling you to do, which is essentially everything that's in this book, right? Hey, you got nothing but death awaiting you, right? And guess what? When all hell really breaks loose, it's not going to be the rapture, right? And then in 7 years, you know, the Lord going to sit there and beam up a select few, right? You got to live, you got to kind of survive, you got to stick and move like it's the Hunger Games, right? For 7 years, right? And then the rest of them going to be collected. That's not how that works, all right? When all hell starts to break loose, you have a lot of Christians that's kind of questioning stuff. Right? This is not the sequence of events that's supposed to be happening. Right? They catch a missile at their front door, and what the hell's going on? Right? You should have sat there and been reading your Bible, man. Instead of believing what the pastor had to say all the damn time. Right? So, you know, that's why it's imperative for us to read. Right? We got to get back into this book. What's your nationality, please? That's right, brother. What's your name? Jim? Alright, Jim. We out here every Friday and Saturday. You from here? Alright, cool. So every Friday and Saturday, we down here, man. Come holler at us. Show, you know, wellness checks, whatever the case may be. I damn near almost slipped over right here. Toby. Almost said Toby, man. Damn. Right? It's cool to them, you know? Spirit. Right? But call all praise to the Most High, man. Nevertheless, the word is going out. The sheep is being woken up, man. Hey, every sheep that has came up here, man, for the most part, has hearkened, man, and walked away with a new understanding, a new knowledge, man, that they did not know before, man. And all we can say is all praise, honor, and glory to the Most High. How about Shemi? I was shot forward. Right? Go to John chapter 12, verse 28. I'm gonna go ahead and pass that.
The book of John chapter 12 and verse number 28.
You know.
Father, glorify thy name.
It said what?
Father, glorify thy name.
That's what we come out here to do, man. It's to glorify the Lord's name.
Yeah.
We speak on his behalf, right? By going through the scriptures, man. That's right. And we protest these different things unto our people, man. Glorifying and magnifying and lifting up the Lord Yahweh. That's right. Name, man. That's all we can do, man, as servants that are walking upon the face of this earth, man. That's what we're called to do. The Lord just didn't wake us up for no reason. He didn't put us on the stage and in the limelight for no reason, man. He didn't pick us brothers to be in the damn spotlight, man. Right? Performing, right? The way that we do, right? For no reason, man. And you know, Esau walking past, they're probably like, oh, it's a show. They're performing, right? You know, they got rocks for mine, right? Got rocks and pebbles for mine. Right? But it's all good at the end of the day, because it's only meant for our people. Man.
That's right.
Right? And hey, that's what the Lord has told us to do, man. To come out here on the highways and byways, man, to glorify his name throughout the earth, man. Right? And to magnify it, and to give forth these testaments that are written in the scriptures, man. Right? Testaments even through our lives, man. And this captivity that we live through, man. Right? And guess what? We're not just living life and it's all peachy and creamy, man. Hey, brothers got testimonies, man. Right? Brothers got experiences, man. Brothers got war stories, man. Right? Brothers been shot at. Brothers been sat there and scrambled, man. Right? Kind of fought off some brothers, whatever the case may be, fought off some damn Edomites, man. Right? We done sat there and put whole nations to flight, man. Right? Talking about the damn Palestinians, man. Right? Lame ass, Ishmaelites. Right? Put whole nations to flight, man. Thousands of men. Right? Hey, these different things we can only do by the head of Yahweh Shem Yahushua, man.
That's right.
Go ahead.
Then came there a voice from heaven saying, I have both glorified it and will glorify it again.
And guess what? When all hell breaks loose, I want every brother up here, right, and myself included, man, to be able to say, hey, guess what? I have glorified and magnified the Lord's name to the best of my ability, man. And hey, let the Lord's will be done. Right? rather than a man that's gonna sit there and say, hey, damn, hold on, I gotta get my house in order, man. I gotta start getting things straight. Brother, the missiles is already crashing, man. Right? All hell's already breaking loose, man. They're already popping the M16s into your house, man. Right? Now you're trying to get things in order? It's too late.
It's too late.
Right? I'd rather sit there and have a brother, you know, every single brother up here, man, be able to sit there and say, hey, I have gone as far as I possibly could, man. Right? I have magnified the Lord's name as best as I could, man. With that, I'm gonna say, come here, show. 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 Come here, show.
With ship! With what?
With ship!
With what?
With ship!
How did we get to America? On ships, right? So, did everybody on the earth go into slavery on ships? Who went into slavery on ships, brother? That's right.
Crazy.
For yourself, know perfectly that the day of the Lord is coming as a thief in the night.
What?
As a thief in the night.
Thief in the night.
Right.
The Lord is gonna come as a thief in the night, man. Nobody knows when the Lord is gonna come back, man. Right. Nobody knows, man.
This the book of wisdom of Solomon, chapter 7 and verse 24. For wisdom is more moving than any motion. For wisdom is more moving than any motion.
Right? The wisdom of the Lord, man, right? And the wisdom of life is more moving than any emotion, man, right? And that's what the Lord has given us to speak to our people, man. Right? And that thing is gonna move you more than anything, man. Right? It's gonna move you more than damn weed. Right? It's gonna move you more than that damn Hennessy bottle. Right? It's gonna sit there and move you more than damn Keisha, Letitia, right? And all these damn heathenistic women, man.
Right.
Oh, you're going crazy.